How are you? I'm going to have to go without you. How far away are you? Okay. Can I say right from the start, this is never about me. It's about the person in the weatherboard 9, something that manifestly expressed what the National Party is about. It's about the person in Limbri or Walbrook or Nyangla or Dirranbandi, their right to transcend through the economic and social stratification of life. Their right that even though they mightn't have had inherited wealth or mightn't have been born to the best family or mightn't have had the best education, their right to advance, limited only by their innate abilities, to get as far ahead in life as they possibly can by the sweat of their own brow. That is what this has always been about, the incredible privilege that I'm so humbled by to have been the Deputy Prime Minister of Australia, someone who went to Woolbrook Public School. But it's only fair on those people on the weatherboard 9. It's only fair on that purpose of trying to make sure we continue that advancement of the person so that if they're on the periphery of society, they can have the best opportunities, that there be some clear air. Over the last half a month, there's been a litany of allegations. I don't believe any of them have been sustained. A litany of allegations. Might I say right here that as every person in any political party always says, the leaking, the backgrounding, all that, it'll destroy not our government, it'll destroy any government. And we work on the premise that what the National Party has done is so important. It is the reason that you have a coalition government, because at the last election, we didn't lose a seat. In fact, we gained one. We did not lose a seat. We gained one. And by so doing, there was a coalition government. But to give these people in the weatherboard 9, in those regional and small towns, the best opportunity, then this current cacophony of issues has to be put aside. And I think it's my responsibility to do my bit to make sure that it happens. Now, might I say, with the last allegation that was in the paper today, I have asked that be referred to the police. I've asked for the right of the person who's made the allegation, and I've asked for my right of defence that be referred to the police. But it's quite evident that you can't go to the dispatch box why issues like that are surrounding. So I can't enter into any discussions about that. As you all understand, if it's going to be before the courts, it's going to be before the courts. But what I will say is that on Monday morning at the party room, I will step down as the Leader of the National Party and Deputy Prime Minister of Australia. Now, I've informed the Acting Prime Minister, Matthias Cormann, of this. I've informed my colleagues of this, and there are a couple of other things that I'd like to clearly say. I want to thank the people of New England. I am so humbled that today, whilst walking around Armidale, there were people, and I don't want to be so bold, but I've got a sneaking suspicion some of them didn't vote for me, but they were so good. They're offering their support. The people of Tamworth, the same. The people in the small towns, I'm so humbled, and I thank you for the overwhelming support. People literally running up and some of them crying, offering their support to me. And I just say I don't deserve the support that you've given me. I'd like to say that it's absolutely important, it's incredibly important that be a circuit breaker, not just for the Parliament, but more importantly, that it be a circuit breaker for Vicky, it'd be a circuit breaker for my unborn children. In all, on Monday morning, the Whip, Michelle Landry, will have a meeting at 8 o'clock for the National Party, and I'll be stepping aside at that point. Now, I'll take a few questions, but I'm not going to take too many.
Barnaby, can I ask, when did you come to this decision? Was it after yesterday's allegations?
Well, it was after. Obviously, it was confirmed by the allegations that I read in the paper. I just thought that has to be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
At the next election?
Yes, I will. Without a shadow of a doubt, I'm staying as a member for New England.
Barnaby, do you hope to remain in the ministry, or is this a trip to the backbench?
No, I'll go to the backbench.
And will you, as Tony Abbott promised, not snipe from the backbench?
Well, look, No, I won't snipe. I have a lot of things I need to do. I'm currently in the process of writing a book about precisely the people I was talking about. And I want to make sure I get that concluded. I want to assist my colleagues where I can to basically keep their seats. And also, quite naturally, in April a baby will be born. I'll have other things in my mind.
Were you aware of the Western Australian claim before you did the Fairfax interview?
The West Australian claim before I did the Fairfax interview. I've never been made directly aware of that. It was only the last day or so I was made directly aware of that. There was rumours, but sorry? I'm not going to enter into that.
Did you speak? Have you spoken yet to the Prime Minister, Barnaby? And if
I've spoken to the acting Prime Minister.
And what did you say? How did you?
Just precisely what I've said. I'll be stepping down Monday. Look, at the end, no, not hard at all.
Does this decision have anything to do with public condemnation by members of your own party?
Which ones?
The WA members.
Well, I mean, I've made my point on that. Basically, that the WA party. They didn't actually send across last time they sent across a member, they didn't sit with the National Party. They only came to a couple of party room meetings. They're not actually part of the coalition in WA. I know they have their views. They talk about how ferociously independent they are. That is their right, but it's a bit odd later on when they talk about their. I'm not going to be endorsing anybody.
What does this mean for the people of the New England? What's your commitment to them?
Well, my commitment is, as it always is, I don't think anybody can deny the work I've done for the people of the New England, whether it's your mobile phone towers, whether it's the roadworks, Bolivia Hill realignment, whether it's Chaffey Dam, it's money on table for Dungowan Dam, Scone Bypass, Scone Sale Yards, Merrywater Willow Tree Road. It goes on. I just noted the other day, the Kalara unit, dementia unit at Gyra opened up. We got the money for that, and on and on and on it goes. The upgrade of the airport here, we were part of that. Decentralisation of jobs into Armidale from APVMA in Canberra. This program has been always at the forefront of what I.
Does this one sort of lessen your ability to continue bringing the APVMA?
I'll just keep. No, it continues on. That is a decision of cabinet.
Could you be Deputy Prime Minister again in your career, Barnaby Joyce?
Look, I'm not going to start talking about what happens next in my career. I'm going to focus.
You've got ambition.
It has been an incredible honour. It's like. I always think it's like being a wallaby. If you're a wallaby for 10 minutes, you're a wallaby for life. And don't we live in an incredible nation, an absolutely incredible nation, that someone who went to Woolbrook Public School could become Deputy Prime Minister of Australia? Isn't that just the most, an incredible endorsement of the people who we are?
What's your message to MPs like Adam?
Thank you. Do you take any responsibility for the events of the past 2 weeks, Barnaby?
In which regard?
The things that have happened.
Well, of course you take responsibility, and in fact they're talking about you. But, if you said that you instigated them, no.
What would be your message to Mr. Broad, who turned on you, who supported you during the campaign, who was here?
Well, look, I'm not here to deride any of my colleagues. I'll let Mr. Broad speak for himself.
How do you think you should be regarded by broader Australians?
Just as I started, I fought for the person in the weatherboard 9. I fought for the person that I believed was on the peripheries in those small regional towns. I used my experience of the Limbrides, of the Weeabongas, of the Woolbrooks especially, and said, in my goal in life is to try and make their life better. That is what I've got to do. And I acknowledge that in many areas I'm rough around the edges. I never tried to be anything else.
Should media in future expose personal relationships like yours for scrutiny by the Australian public? Should that happen again?
Absolutely. That is one of the, and I apologise to Vicky. The idea that for Vicky, walking across the road as a pregnant lady and just being, put under so much pressure. I mean, that's not who we are. I thought that's not who we are in Australia. That's not the kind of people we are. I'm the public figure. Go after me. That's what I get paid for. But don't go after private individuals. It's just wrong. And, always think of it. When you see something like that on the paper and you think it's salacious, think, what if that was me? What if that was my mother? What if that was my wife? How would I feel?
Do you think there were members of the Canberra Press Gallery who were determined to get your stuff?
I don't know. I mean, that's a question for them.
Do you think you would still have the support of New England voters at the next election, given you didn't campaign in the by-election and we've barely seen you since?
What do you mean I didn't campaign in the by-election?
Well, you didn't go to any of the public events.
I think it's quite apparent. I went to a range of public events, and And I'm absolutely humbled by the support I got at the by-election. In fact, we had the biggest swing to a government member in the history of our nation, so that's pretty good.
But do you think you would
That's
get
it. That's it,
Okay,
guys.
thanks, guys.
Shut up now.
So there endeth a deputy prime ministership, it must be said, somewhat ingloriously. Underneath his trademark Akubra hat, Australia's 17th deputy prime minister in Barnaby Joyce is headed off to the backbench, looking for what he calls a circuit breaker for himself, for his partner Vicky, his unborn child, he said, and also his estranged wife Natalie. So Australia's 17th Deputy Prime Minister is now a backbencher, a humbling fall from power, really, but done voluntarily, ostensibly, in Barnaby Joyce's case, although it must be said, the culmination of mounting pressure over more than 2 weeks now. This all began on a Wednesday, just over 2 weeks ago, with the publication of that image of Vicky Campion, heavily pregnant, crossing a road in Canberra, and that was alluded to by Barnaby Joyce in bowing out there.